Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. The trolls that I get are dumb and bad enough, especially guys who lost in court who are mad at me about talking about dudes growing some balls and being a man. But some of the worst are attorneys. And there's this guy, AngryProsecutorS8V, who made a comment on this video. And he said, "Oh, what is this, a drunken rant?" And then I go to his page, and he's a coward little troll bitch, like most attorneys are. You think about what attorneys do. They go in and they torture and psychologically torment innocent people, lie, disparage, slander them. And this guy, if he's a real prosecutor, he's part of the prison industrial complex and a racist piece of shit that disproportionately incarcerates people of color and has like Judge, what's his name, Vassarelli or something like that, who takes bribes from juvenile detention halls to shuffle innocent juveniles and fill a brand new juvenile detention facility for millions of dollars. And he just got pardoned by Joe Biden recently after, destroying kids' lives, not giving them due process, throwing them in juvenile without the right to an attorney and stuff like that. This is what the prison industrial complex does, gets kids like Khalif Browder arrested. So it's presumed that this prosecutor that's commenting on it is a subhuman racist piece of shit. And then he's a fruity little gay boy with a feminine drama queen female type of persona where he comes by and he makes a presumption, and then he judges me off of that presumption like a lot of women do. This guy is of a female drama queen, crazy baby mama energy type of, he comes from that type of place, probably single mom raised. And then you go on his page and he doesn't show his picture. He's talking major shit. If you're on my page, it's probably because I came on your page and I talk shit to you, and this isn't going to be good for your ego. So he's a self-flattering feminine narcissist. So let's take a look at this. And part of my point here is there's a whole bunch of passerbys. Here I am rescuing children. I'm helping people rescue their lives with their children. I'm helping dads particularly get involved in their kids' life again after falsely being accused of domestic violence, child abuse, and stuff like that. And everybody in society is crying out for fathers to be involved with kids. And then I have a gay little fruity feminine prosecutor racist piece of shit who was probably raised by a single mom, self-flattering narcissist with all this middle school cheerleader feminine drama, stuff that you have typically, like the stuck-up cheerleader got dumped by the star quarterback and now she's mad and she's going to run around and slander him. That's the type of feminine energy that comes from this guy. So let's take a look at his comment real quick. And this is coming from somebody. I never been drunk or high in my entire life. I kept my nose clean my entire life. So let's take a look at this dude's comment. And he's a thin-skinned little biatch because he doesn't like my tone because it's an angry rant. It's toxic masculinity, and a free little feminine gay boy like this guy doesn't like toxic masculinity because he's probably raised by a single mom and told to be soft, gentle, and sweet. And he doesn't like me being outraged about the child trafficking of family court. Think about what this guy's doing, attacking me, somebody who's helping rescue kids from child trafficking in family court, and kids being placed with single moms, which is the most dangerous place they could be, where they're more likely to be molested. And also the juvenile dependency CPS system that literally traffics kids and gets them molested and on drugs. And, sometimes in a juvenile dependency case, let's say there's 4 kids in a family. I actually dealt with a guy. He was in and out of family court for years. And then at one point, somebody called CPS when the kids were with mom because she had an abusive boyfriend. And all 4 kids were put in 4 separate foster homes. And not only were they taken from their parents, they were put in 4 separate foster homes and isolated. That's the type of psychological torment CPS does. And this prosecutor's commenting, he's attacking me because I'm attacking the system, and he's defending the cult of corrupt attorneys. And like I said, an attorney will psychologically torture you, gaslight you, and do stuff to you in family court particularly, and in criminal court, lie about you, gaslight you, falsely, maliciously prosecute you, and abuse the system against you. If anybody, human being in regular life did that to you, you could sue them for slander or for abuse of the process or get a restraining order against them. These attorneys are a bunch of punk, sissy little bitches who were bullied in middle school and high school, and now they stand behind their bar number and go around and bully other people. And if this is a prosecutor, he gets Joe Biden Violence Against Women Act money to help prosecute men for violence, but not women when women commit way more violence than men. The Violence Against Women Act says that it's intended to protect women and children, which is a laudable, honorable thing. But women commit 60% of child abuse and 50% of domestic violence. How come there's no prosecution of women, for the most part, who commit domestic violence? And this guy is a prosecutor. He's a sellout, house slave, subhuman piece of shit, racist, and a feminine little fruity gay boy who runs around and gets mad at men who want men involved in kids' lives like I do, and who's rescuing children. And he's part of the system that gets youth killed, like Khalif Browder, or gets, if he's a prosecutor, prosecutors come in and prosecute juvenile dependency cases, or they become judges like that. I'm saying the guy's name, Vassarelli or whatever name is, that was sentenced to about 30 years in prison for taking bribes, for ushering kids into a new juvenile detention center and getting kickbacks for it. This prosecutor is part of that cult of people, and it's more likely than not that he's one of those evil, corrupt people, because the vast majority of attorneys are incompetent idiots and part of a club that has. Let me just say this point: when you get a police officer or a teacher or a construction worker who does their job poorly and endangers people, like a construction worker who does some miswiring and there's a fire, or a teacher who's alleged to have molested a kid, or a cop who's alleged to have assaulted somebody. When you compare that to a lawyer, lawyers have the least amount of discipline acts per complaint. They cover for each other. They're like a mafia. So let's take a look at what this guy's fruity little gay boy comment. So in this video, I'm talking about holding people accountable after, family court, a guardian ad litem, a judge, an attorney, and people abuse you and falsely accuse you. I'm talking about following up with bar complaints, guardian ad litem complaints, holding them accountable, protesting and exposing them, just like we do sex offenders. When you have a sex offender that moved into your neighborhood after they abused somebody, we put signs up and pass out flyers. Let's do the same thing for these people. So what does this guy do? AngryProsecutorS8V. Is this like a drunk rant? So if this guy's a prosecutor, he's totally talking about what he thinks I might be doing, like a valley girl, little gay bitch. Is this like a drunk rant? Now, it's not like this guy can do anything to me or whatever, but I'm showing this to you guys to show what passerbys usually do. They know nothing about anything, and they don't like somebody talking bad about a family court that traffics children for $50 billion a year and abuses children as fodder, and he's defending sexually deviant perverts. So this guy, let me show you his page real quick. God bless the First Amendment, because he's some shit talker who trolls people and hides and doesn't really tell you who he is or whatever. And if you're here, it's probably because I comment on your video. You're an idiot right-winger. So this guy is part of, he's a pimped, brainwashed little slave, mind slave, zombie bitch. And he divides people by political affiliation. Who thinks law and order is electing a felon or lawyer who is marketing his scam services. It always seems to be men by lying to the public. If so, it's not the place for you. You and your ego are not safe here. Self-flattering narcissist, what he does is probably just go and drop some stupid comment like he did to me and then disappear and run like a little bitch. Stuff he wouldn't say to anybody's face in real life. So, this guy, let's take a look at the type of people this guy's defending just real quick. Let's go to my main page and then let's look at exposing corrupt lawyers and judges. So here's a judge who placed a girl with a violent felon. There's another one in here with this guy trading sex for services.